All right, but we have Raven. Man, I really do like this outfit. Like, damn, I love this outfit. Like, yeah, damn. I really do like it. And again, I'm gonna let it play out.
Raven. Eve. I knew
Raven,
from
the
the very
classic I can
beginning
fix her girl of Stellar Blade.
that all along I was nothing but a tool
If you
to
know,
guide
you
you to
know.
him. Even the legacies I left behind became part of the plan. I should congratulate you for realizing the truth and making it this far. Of course, you won't be able to see him.
Shut up! Don't you dare talk about truth after what you did to Taki!
Can't you see? It was Mother Spear who deceived us. You would have remained ignorant if not for him. I served him for a very long time. I know him better than anyone. You don't know anything. You don't know his pain, his anger, his agony. All this talk of you being the chosen one, it ends here.
Lily, I want you to stay back this time. This is
I
my
will say something that's a little bit confusing a little bit. Yeah, after the serious scene, this music completely throws off the boss fight for me.
The body of a super weapon created by Mother Spear. But him.
As you can see, Gia deals a fuck ton of damage. Okay. Oh, we mash, we can mash. I will say, yeah, this is like genuinely one of my least favorite fights. I would say it's only second to the Corruptor. I didn't mean to do that. Come on. Oh my god, she just does so much damage. Bop. Time for Taki mode. I'm gonna use this a lot more often. That's bad. Oh, I'm immune here, so it doesn't really matter. But what's bad is I'm burning up the meter. And she immediately went to that. I'm kind of glad I did Taki mode there. Oh, you kind of have to mash a lot harder in, There we are. Okay.
There is an unspoken truth you don't dare acknowledge. Do you think you're just going to complete your mission and head back to the colony? A hero? Unfortunately, you've learned too much. You can't be manipulated anymore. And the information you've gained is no use to Mother Sphere or the colony.
Which is true.
You will be discarded just like they were during the colony.
It's assumed that that's Raven's pod that she originally landed on, and we still are in the wasteland. Again, couldn't dodge that. Sick of your combos, bitch. Ugh, goddamn. We can still use this. So, occasionally... Woo! Okay, well... We're not even halfway through this fight. And we just counter like this. For whatever reason, she doesn't seem to... Because sometimes she can sort of parry you. However... that attack, it has such a wide range, you can't really dodge out of it. There we are, now she's gonna start taking more damage. We did use a WB pump, but that's fine. Yeah, you can see, I have her protection mana. No, you're not doing that again. I thought I parried that. Yeah, that attack tracks so hard. There we are. And we're still regenerating health, which is nice. Beautiful. Come on, damage. Let's go. It's just kind of unfortunate that the burst of boost our damage doesn't benefit us here because she's so aggressive. Time to punish her here. Damn, we're still regenerating health. Damn. Oh, fuck. Oh my god, come on! I think this fight lasts for a little bit too long. Fuck it. This is kind of ironic being in Taki mode. There we are. Raven is taken care of. I am really surprised that we managed to successfully take her out. That would have been such a cool sword to have.
You did it, Eve. Well done. Why are you hesitating? Because we were comrades? Or because I'm human like you? Except you don't believe we're human.
Because she knows we aren't. Man, if only we kept that other Raven sword, looks so cool.
Your mainframe's nerve fibers and exospine have all been severed. So now, you won't be able to fight. You've taken so much from me. In exchange, I'll allow you to witness the end. In that state.
Let's go, Eve.
What? What do you think you're doing? Who do you think you are? You don't know anything. Kill me. Go ahead and kill me. I wouldn't be your first.
Lily. Let's go.
Let's go!
Eve! Stop right there! Finish this! Eve! Eve!
I still can't explain too much to erase the final boss, who's my number 2. Yeah, Raven, to me, is a bottom 2 boss. And the only reason why she's above the Corruptor is one, she does have build-up to her fight, but also the Corruptor fucking appears 3 times. And is very boring, has a very boring moveset as well. Also, something that I personally don't understand is it seems like there's some magic involved. Like, it seems to be a little bit more than just technology, so I kind of hope this is explored in like a DLC or something that takes place maybe in the past, before Adam, Lily, and Eve, and even the mother even. Like, how do they find this power? It would be kind of cool to play as a Naytiba, honestly. At least for a section, maybe. Also, something I do need to mention, it was the colony that sectioned off the Earth. It wasn't like... The Naytibas did not prevent the Androidos from contacting the colony. The colony was the ones that prevented the Androidos from connecting to them, because the Naytiba was right there. So the Alpha Naytiba was there.
This is the nest.
Yeah.
It looks like this is where all the Naytibas are born.
Although... everything looks so natural. It makes me wonder, is this how real life is born after all?
For some animals, yes.
Isn't the Elder at the end of this path?
Again, y'all can take a look at the spectacles for yourselves, but again, we're gonna keep pushing on.
Strangely peaceful.
Even though this is gonna be kind of a beefier episode, I did want to get this done in one session, in one episode.
But from where, I don't know. I don't see any Naytibas on the road. It's like someone wants this place to remain undisturbed.
Alright. Also, before you... if you try to load up a save that hasn't gone into New Game Plus yet, but you have beaten the final boss, it will actually spawn you here. At this campsite. Time for another weapon enhance. Alright. Time for the final boss.
There's a camp in the nest as well.
Raven,
Man,
is
we're
this
not
camp?
going for the,
I
like,
suspect it
actual...
hasn't been used since you...
Thank goodness it's working.
Yes. I'm also getting the feeling that it's our last camp.
So yeah, this is not the ending that I generally consider to be canon. 2 endings lead to a same result for Eve in particular. The endings differ on the result of Lily and Adam. Also, I do want to change maybe the earring, maybe? No, I'll just leave it how it is. Alright. it's time for y'all to see the final boss. And then, of course, I'll give my story, or at least what I believe to have happened. And I do want to draw some parallels, in particular to a
The
movie
end of my journey.
that kind of scarred me as a child. And there's Adam.
Eve. I've been waiting.
It's like I thought. It was you.
This is the twist that comes hell out of
Why is
nowhere
Adam here?
if you don't know this information. Because it's not hinted at nearly as obviously as it really should be.
I know this is a disappointment. I'm sorry, Eve.
Also, he did create Mother Sphere.
Everything that has happened until now, and even before, it began with me. I am the source of it all.
Adam. Or would you prefer I call you Elder? What are you scheming? You pretended to rescue me.
Raphael, I believe, is his actual
Pretended
name.
to help me on my mission.
Then he changed it to
All
Adam to hide
under
his
the guise
identity.
of helping Zion. What are you really after?
I want atonement. I want forgiveness. I want us to heal. Please know that everything I have done sincerely.
Enough of this nonsense! My comrades, the people of Zion who trusted you. Tell me why they had to die.
Eve, you have every right to be mad. I understand.
Elder Naytiba, you...
Please, listen to me, Eve. First, I'm sorry for what happened between you and Raven. In the end, she had her own motives, and that way she was a lot like Oracle.
Raven was the one that made
As
Taki
you
into an
discovered,
Aetiba. At least
you
it
were
was an attempt
created
to
by
make
the
an Alpha
surviving
Aetiba.
humans to look and act like them.
The other Aetiba is the only one capable of
Us?
birthing like full-blown Aetibas.
We're nothing but monsters.
Adam is the last human. The rest of the
Right from the
Aetibas are
start, we
technically
struggled to
biologically
coexist.
humans, but they're not like humans like you and I
Of
are.
course we did. Because we Naytibas were weak. We were not yet mature enough to fully accept your kind. This foolishness resulted in tragedy. In the end, we gave up our humanity in order to survive.
Then you threw us out into space.
Earth is too small for both our species to coexist. However, even if all the Naytibas disappear, it's impossible for your kind to succeed the human race. After all, you were created entirely from scratch, with no human DNA at all.
And what is it you're going to do? You think you're the one to end this gruesome slaughter?
Yes. I've been researching for decades to find a way. A way for us all to become the inheritors of the human race. An Andro Eidos, with the most advanced unicinous hyperbody ever seen. And the ultimate Naytiba that has not succumbed to its hostile instincts. These are the two necessary ingredients.
You mean
Which is likely why he couldn't use Raven.
Yes.
Raven mentally was quite
You
disturbed.
and I.
And also, Raven was among
We
the
are
first
what's
few divisions that were sent down.
I
So it took
offer
a little bit of
you
time
one
for
last deal.
things to get
Let us
ironed out.
become whole. One being. A single, evolved human species. If we fuse together, we can truly become the seeds of a new human race.
That's insane!
There's no point in listening to this, Eve.
At this rate, Mother Sphere will do the same thing over and over again. I wouldn't be surprised if she even destroyed the colony, and thereby Earth.
Oh crap, I forgot to rearrange my stuff around.
As you know,
God damn it.
she will not stop. But this is not the path that humans should take.
But there's no proof that this fusion is the right path to take.
Especially considering everything you've done.
You're right, Lydia.
So they have slaughtered
However,
a lot of
to save
humans.
the new humans and surviving humans is sincere.
Oh, okay, so it seems like there are actual surviving humans, which does give credence to my theory that some of the people in Zion are actually human, still. But it's also unclear how much time has actually passed between
Lily,
the start of the Nativas and now.
But this is...
this is the last hypercell needed to rebuild Zion. Zion can be saved no matter what choice Eve makes. It would mean so much if you could do this for me. Eve, your mission is to eliminate me. If you fuse with me, the Elder Naytiba, as you know it, will cease to exist. Forever. Is there any better way to complete your mission? Eve. Take my hand. I can save you. We can save each other. We can save everyone.
Okay, so here's the deal. We are not going to take his hand. Under normal circumstances, I would usually do. However, it locks you out of, in my opinion, the #2 best boss in the game. I actually won't be showing Providence. It's just, you fight the big robot. There's nothing special to it. But also, the ending is actually quicker. So we are going to refuse his hand. And it leads to a more interesting boss fight.
I can't accept this.
Eve.
It's also bittersweet, too.
No matter how much blood has stained Mother Sphere's hands, and no matter how heavy your burden is to save the surviving humans, I don't want to be controlled by those things anymore. I want to make my own decisions, as nobody else but myself. All decisions. Even the decision to bring you down.
All right. This is also very like you. I understand, Eve. However, I still have things worth protecting.
This fight is going to be quite interesting.
Eve, I wish you well.
Adam, Eve isn't alone this time.
Lily, please, stay out of this.
Force wave.
You wish.
He put restraints on her.
What?
It definitely feels like he views her as sort of like a child, and Eve probably does as well. Which makes perfect sense.
Adam.
By the way, interesting tidbit. He doesn't actually try to fight you.
Kind of mistake you can't make twice.
Also, I'm assuming I can't change these in the middle. Yeah. He doesn't try to fight you at all. By the way, this is the only way you can get the trophy done for researching all Naytibas.
The truth doesn't need to be kind, only true.
Yeah, he just backs away. How many bullets do I have? 550? Okay.
We're like mirrors to each other. Carrying on this way can only bring darkness.
That's all he does. He doesn't, like, do a particular action. None of that.
It's working!
It's my turn now!
All we need is for you to disappear! Go away! Go!
It's like, shut up, the adults are talking. Such a Devil May Cry pose.
Lily, I am sorry.
Lily! Hide!
By the way, that also renders the chip that we got useless. You can get this ending regardless of if you go for
Truly
809 or
are a
not.
wonder. I must shed my humanity and become a monster.
Now we're getting into my second favorite boss. God, this transformation is so cool! And the music. This is my final boss. Such a cool arena. The other 5 Providence takes place where you're already at. God, so cool! God! The art department and the music department deserve all the credit.
So now it really begins.
We're just gonna keep spamming this shit to get him down on a couple little bits. I'm glad the bosses do give you some recovery time after you cast one of those. Alright, now that I'm out. Oh, I missed that! Oh! And you can still hear Adam's grunts as well. Crap. Got the chair up there. Gun! Cat! Retribution? I believe this is the same kind of boss where you can only retribute them in these situations. Oh crap. He has his next phase. Okay, well. Oh my god, such a cool fight! Ah, no, no. Oh my god. I'm ripped. Oh wow, I wasn't expecting that. I will say sometimes it's hard to see his golden flashes because all of his abilities are gold. Oh my god, he's... Whew. I literally was unable to block any of that. Like, she would not block and I was holding down the block button. I missed that. I need a little bit of breathing room, like, damn. Oh wow, I didn't really plan on doing anything. Oh, come on. I have to make a stamina at some point. Oh, there we are. We got cherubs. There we are, another retribution. So this might happen every time I break his stamina, which is interesting. Let's go! Oh, never mind, his stamina's still broken. Ooh. Woo! Okay. Okay, damn. Come on, interrupt that shit. Let's go! Damn, the combos! Holy shit! Let's go! Such a fun fight. God, such a cool fight. I just wish the circumstances were a bit different.
Adam, I'm sorry.
Eve. With this, the history of humans is over. Your will, your actions, your decisions. I just hope that everyone is guided in the right direction.
And there's a skeleton. which have the markings of being an Elder Naytiba.
Goodbye.
I will say, unlike most games, this one does feel like it was the wrong decision and the wrong ending to really pick, because you're not naturally drawn to this ending in particular.
Eve! The nest! Hurry!
But the boss fight is so good. So good. A top tier fight. Also, that decision really does seem antithetical to Eve's original purpose. Eve's original purpose was to save humanity, but it was also to kill the Elder Naytiba, but she can't save humanity by killing the Elder Naytiba. It's kind of a little bit of a paradox there. But also, he did say that the Elder Naytiba would be gone if we just fused as well, so... Here's Mother Sphere, which Adam did make.
Reading the future is like mapping out the night sky. And sometimes you catch a glimpse of a shooting star.
Mother Sphere spouts nonsense at this ending.
Yes, seeing the future is just like that. I fully respect your decision, Eve, even if it is a bittersweet one. I will be waiting for you, and I will be watching.
Mother Sphere.
In both other endings, you are against Mother Sphere.
Is it finally over?
Yes.
And I will say in another ending,
Lily,
so what the Eidos 9
it is
does
time to go home.
is if you fuse with Adam, you won. You do have to fight Providence, which is the robot that Lily was in. It's kind of it's an alright fight. It's just not as good as the Elder Naytiba fight. Also, this ending has crazy visuals too. And the other two endings are extremely long. You basically fight a bunch of fodder enemies for a while. But the Eidos, so the colony had sent over that ship, and Lily was piloting it. So if you
We still
fuse
have
with it,
things to do.
the colony sends a message for the robot to essentially kill Eve. However,
First, let's pay Mother Sphere a visit.
If you do not go to Eidos 9, Lily dies in that fight. If you do, she's able to override the robot and get out of it before the robot detonates to attempt to kill Eve. Such a fancy ship. And then we're about to get some crazy visuals here that I even can't really quite clarify. I do hope that the game does not follow this ending.
I can see the
I do hope
colony.
it follows one of the other two. I doubt they would go with killing off Lily, so at least this is if they're planning, if it's a sequel. I assume that they're gonna go with Adam will not be in the next game. If he is, it'll be sort of an apparition probably to Eve. But yeah, this is the shield that was around Earth the entire time, and that is what Mother Sphere is. But we don't see that from the outside because there was a protective shield, and still is around the Earth. So you don't see that when you're on Earth. All right, though. That is, though, Stellar Blade. I am gonna go ahead and I'm gonna discuss some things here. I'm gonna bring it a little bit because I'm at least a little bit louder than the music that is playing. Okay, first and foremost, what's the deal with Adam, Raven, that whole situation? So the deal with Adam, also I'm just speed running through this so that I don't have to worry about using and shit. But basically, Adam created Mother Sphere. However, he's under the different name of Raffi, is what the logs label him as, or Raphael. However, Mother Sphere kind of went haywire, basically. Ended up going against humanity, she ended up creating the Androidos. Adam and the rest of humans fled into areas like Altes and Abyssal Voir to experiment on trying to get stronger, basically. However, Adam ended up succeeding, becoming the first successful experiment to be an Elder Naytibus who could create other Naytibus, and the rest of the humans were turned into Naytibus. That's why the ones we see on the outside are a little bit more advanced of the ones that we see in Alpha and in Altes and Abyssal Voir. They're more human-like, or like partially, like not fully complete. However, Adam is the first actual success for the Elder Naytiba. He became the Elder Naytiba and changed his name to Adam. He would go on to obviously transform Oracle first into an Elder Naytiba. He would also kind of wage war on Mother Sphere to try to save humanity, but he figured out that it was futile. It was futile. So, unfortunately, shit went down. Raven would end up being sent. She would find out the truth as us as characters are figuring it out, but Raven would figure it out a little bit faster, so she left the logs behind. And then Adam would eventually bring over Raven to his side. He thought about fusing with her, however, he didn't notice that there were issues, so he waited along, and Eve just happened to be at the right place at the right time, because Raven got jealous that he was going to find someone else, so she would start wiping out all of the other Eve units under the guise of being in Naytiba, so he was just there at the right place at the right time to get Eve. Then at that point, he decided, okay, Eve's the right one. I don't necessarily want to fuse with her. I would surmise, because when Adam fuses with Eve in the other two endings, Adam is basically no longer present. He essentially gives his power to Eve. It's kind of close to what the Namekian fusion is in Dragon Ball. It's kind of close to what that is. Meanwhile, it's not close to the Potara fusion or Metamorian, the fusion dance. However, we don't know if Adam's personality or some part of his soul is in Eve, or she can sense him or anything like that. We just don't know yet, because it happens right at the end. Now, after all of that, as we kind of progress, when Adam leaves for Zion, that is when he doesn't necessarily hear a message from Zion, but he feels that, getting a sensation that she's attacking. So he leaves. I'm pretty sure we don't see him getting a message or anything like that. But I kind of assume that he's in tune with the other Alpha Naytibas. So, by the way, before this, Taki was turned into an Naytiba by Raven. It had nothing to do with Adam at all. So he had nothing to do with that. So when he shows up, he's like, things are progressing a little too far. But he had faith that Eve would pull through, basically, which she did. And he would just go to the Naytiba's place. I'm a little bit confused because it seems like there's magic elements, but it's until this point, it looked like there's some magic was kind of involved, like some otherworldly power that wasn't just strict technology. We don't get any answers to that. But basically, he waits there for Eve. After Eve beats the Black Naytiba, Raven ends up going there, fights Eve or whatever. She's not dead, but her fate's kind of unknown. So, if Eve and Adam fuse, Mother Sphere doesn't like that, because Eve at this point is way stronger. And also, she wants to wipe out all of humanity, to essentially start anew, right? However, the story kind of ends about there. Kind of depends on what ending you go for. Now, some parallels I do want to draw. First and foremost, of course, Bloodborne. As I've said in my boss review and my non-spoiler review, the endings for here are pretty similar to Bloodborne. However, there's a key difference. Bloodborne ends in a way that it's kind of hard to make a Bloodborne 2. That is why I don't necessarily agree with there being a second Bloodborne game. I would rather base Bloodborne be remastered or remade. I just don't really see where the story could go. Because when you get to Bloodborne, when you as a hunter get there, everything has happened. In Stellar Blade, almost everything has happened. However, the true end of the journey doesn't happen until Eve gets to the end of the game. The story progresses further as Eve progresses through the game. However, in Bloodborne, kind of an interesting note, the story doesn't actually progress for the hunter that much, if at all. It's just the hunter starting to learn more and more of the past. Which is why when the ending happens, it's more of a conclusion to the past rather than the conclusion to the hunter story himself. Well, the hunter story themselves. So that's kind of an interesting way to look at it. But it's also why, Adam and Gehrman are pretty similar. Maybe that's why I like both of them so much. Gehrman is with you all the way, then bam, he's a boss. However, there are kind of hints that something else is going on. However, you don't really know about the moon presence and shit for 2 of the endings. But with Adam, Elden, and Atiba, you know about it for all 3 endings. Now, for Adam, it kind of comes out of nowhere, in my opinion. I wish there would have been a little bit more lead up. Either we see something or something like that, that makes us question, okay, is he really on our side or something like that? That would have been better than what is there. There are hints, but you only notice them when you play the game again. That's when you notice them, and it's like, yeah, that's such an obscure hint. So that's where I kind of equate them. However, Eve's endings are kind of like, they can kind of go anywhere from any of them. However, this game was originally planned to end on one of those 3 endings. So that's just something of note. However, there was so much open room with the colony ending. I would say, actually, all the endings had openings. I will say the ending we just got probably is the most conclusive. The other 2 endings are kind of just, they can definitely pick up from. Another thing that I want to equate this to is, if any of you, grew up in the early 2000s, if you were born in the 2010s, you probably don't know. But there was a movie, I believe it was by Tim Burton, I believe. And it was 9. That movie I saw as a kid, and it kind of fucked me up. 9 is still one of the best movies, in my opinion, of all time, which is kind of ironic, because I can consider 9 in the OG Transformers movie, and Optimus dies in the first fucking 15 minutes. And 9, all humans are dead, right? So all humans are dead. Now, in 9, the inventor had made a machine that ended up wiping out humanity. Raphael made Mother Sphere, which ended up wiping out humanity. While Adam helped transcend humans further and turn them into Natibas, the scientist was booted out of the military thing, and he imparted fragments of his soul into little sock puppets. The scientist's goal, in my opinion, at the end of 9, wasn't to save humanity or anything like that, but was to pretty much end humanity's existence, but also to be honest, the machine that he had created was made by him and caused the damage to the Earth. So I think he wanted to get rid of any semblance of man-made tampering with nature. So that's why, when the 9 souls go back up in the Earth, it starts raining and new life is basically born out of that, essentially. And a sequel was never made, even though they definitely could have, as far as I know. And in Stellar Blade, however, Stellar Blade, Adam's goal is to extend humanity's lifetime. However, he isn't particularly upset or anything like that. He's kind of just like, c'est la vie, that is life. Well, if you go for the ending, that we just went through. That being said, I am curious how humans can go because, like, depending on how many surviving humans there are, like, you'd have to, like incest would probably get involved. Like, that's kind of the only way to continue it. That's kind of one of those kind of situations, but it's like, But I kind of equate this game a little bit to 9 with how similar the core concepts of, like, scientist creation goes out of control is equal for both. Scientists try to rectify his mistake through experimentation. And it's up to outside forces whether or not that experimentation fails or succeeds. Which he left it up to Eve, Adam left it up to Eve whether or not his experimentation would succeed or fail, while the scientist in 9 led it up to this fragments of his soul whether or not his little experiment would succeed or fail. And I will say both IPs do a great job at kind of exploring and learning more about the world as you explore, and as you go through it, you learn a little bit more. You just don't find out everything right off the gate. Hello everyone, welcome back to, good old me here. So, here we have the Providence boss fight. I was not expecting to do this boss, however, I was able to split up Spy 4, obviously. That's why it kind of ends abruptly in the previous video. But we're kind of just gonna go straight into it. You won't be getting any cutscenes or anything like that, so this outfit, you don't actually unlock this even after you've beaten the game with this ending. Which, honestly, I would prefer this look to Raven's. One thing I will say that I really do not like is how varied Providence moveset is, because, like, a lot of his openers look very similar. So it's not in particularly, like, easy. And normally I would be doing a little bit more damage, but I was guessing when to parry throughout all of that. We're just gonna use Takima when we get access to it. I don't think we're gonna be able to get a retribution, unfortunately. No. We had to interrupt that. Ooh, okay, I was kind of hoping. I don't know how he didn't get the dodge there, but he's gonna do his thing. Okay, I thought I had dodged that. Alright, but we got this thing here, which should put him into... No, it won't put him into phase 2, I don't think. Not yet, anyways. Okay, I thought I was going to be able to finish that in time. No, we're interrupting that shit now. Beautiful. There we are. Damn, that went a lot smoother than the first time I attempted to record this. Alright, this phase you only get if Lily dies. Well, no, actually, you get it either way. But if you get the joystick, if you get the little stick from Eidos 9, we're going to show up a little bit here. Even though we're not really going to be using this. We're going to restand him. as a little counter. But if you do not get the stick, then Lily will die. If you do get the stick, though, she lives. That's the difference. But there we are. There's Providence, nice and done. I don't think that was even a record for me, but yeah, there's the Providence boss fight, you know, nice and taken care of. But that is the alternate boss to the Elder Naytiba, and honestly, let's be real here, it's just not as good as the Elder Naytiba. Like, let's just be perfectly honest, it's just not as good as... It's just not. It's just not. Oh, wait, maybe that... No, that was 20 seconds slower than my personal best. What was my fastest PB? No way it's Raven. Katakuri. Oh, yeah, it's gonna be with some of these earlier bosses. Taki better not be my okay, no. Gigas might be my fastest. Corruptor 19 seconds. Oh, I think it's because I was really strong by that time. Hard mode Raven took me a long ass fucking time. Actually, I think Elder Naytiba is the longest I took on a boss, yeah. But, yeah, my opinion, this boss just isn't particularly... It's not great as a final boss. As a random boss, sure, it worked. I wish this would have been the boss in Eidos 9. Because Eidos 9 kind of feels weird, if that makes sense. It feels like it's wrong. Like, it feels a little bit wrong, because there is no boss, and the dual Corruptor fight is... The Corruptor fight in Eidos 9 is completely shoved to the side. It's quite strange. But, I mean, hey, you guys have to have that boss when, you know, for 2 out of the 3 endings. But, yeah, there is Stellar Blade all done and wrapped up. So, plans going forward. 1, I'm not going to be covering anything happening with Destiny 2, really. Nothing in my eyes is particularly interesting. But, next up, y'all have 2 things. 2 big boys. Maybe a third. So first off, First Descendants. I'm not going to be giving a review or anything for that, or anything like that. It's just how I roll. But if they decide to release one of the, like, mega dungeons or whatever they're calling it early, then I'll do that. I'll make a video on that. If not, though, but that's not supposed to release until December, so won't have to worry about that for a while. However, 2 things are all getting. 1, Elden Samurai, the Elden Ring, Elden Samurai series will be continuing with the DLC. I will this time. I'll make it to where y'all will be able to hear Torchic pretty clearly, and obviously I'll be able to hear myself as we go through the DLC together. Y'all will be seeing more of the areas, which I did not do when I kind of initially gave my thoughts on it. In terms of mods and stuff, things I do have to talk about. 1, the only mod we will be using is the one that replaces a lot of the items with the Scadutree fragments, because most of the items you get in the DLC are fucking useless, and I don't really want to go out through the effort of finding every single last one. So there's that. Other than that, though, we are going to be allowing mimics. That's just how it's going to be. That being said, I'm going to try to limit it to where we only have 3 at a time, because bosses do scale up. So we're going to try to have it to where we only summon the other mimic when the other one's dead. Or in what will likely be the final boss's case, I'll have Torchic summon hers first, then I will summon mine second. However, for a boss like Mesmer, I have to summon mine first, because I've gotten a decent amount of practice after dying so many fucking times to that boss to do the whole intro, and it'll have to be a delayed entrance type deal. We will be fighting all Remembrance bosses, so there's that. Along with that, because that's just going to take a little bit of time, because we barely have time off together, Dark Souls 1, I will officially start recording. Not Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 3, I will officially start recording. That being said, the earlier stages of the series, it's going to take me a little bit of time. It's going to take me a little bit of time. Just letting you know. For Dark Souls 1 Remastered, because I will be having clips from there, just keep in mind that the game's old, so don't knock on it too hard. But for Dark Souls 3, I will be having 2 mods. One, for the ladies, that y'all will see. It's fucking hilarious. Don't worry, guys, you'll find it funny too. But especially for you, I gave the fellas the mod in Dark Souls 1 with the shield, but ladies, y'all are getting a whole lot of NPC. But I will also have a mod that will basically make me invincible with the ring. It's going to be extremely important for showcasing areas specifically, especially in the early stages. Some areas are basically the same as Dark Souls 1, and I want to show that. That being said, you will see me jump off, so I will not be gaining any runes or anything like that from it, nor will I be picking up any items. If I do pick them up, I will just be dropping them and letting them disappear with me. But on that note, though, thanks for tuning in. I know I've been saying Dark Souls happened for a while, but this year has been absolutely insane for video games. And don't worry, when Game Awards voting pops up, I will be for sure making a video on it, because I have played the majority of the games that will probably be on there, and it's going to be a very, very exciting time. It's been a very wild fucking year. And also, I'm pretty sure we should be expecting Remnant 2 DLC very soon. So that'll be fun to play. I won't be covering it on the channel necessarily. Same with Atomic Hearts DLCs. The Atomic Heart DLC have been absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. On that note, though, thanks for tuning in. And I will catch y'all on the flip side.